streaming. All right, we live again. We live again. We live again. Y'all got all right. Y'all say something so I can check if y'all can hear y'all.
One,
Testing,
two, three,
testing.
4, 5.
Yeah, I hear myself.
All right, cool. Everybody hear. Everybody hear. Everybody. All right, we good, y'all. All right. So technical difficulties. Early on. Let me pause that. So now at this point, we gonna have to just let y'all rock with us. I got different video. Maybe it's gonna look different now. Y'all got to see me play Crucible. It is what it is. Whatever. But in this week's episode of the House of Wolves podcast, take two, we're gonna be talking about a few things. One of the things we was talking about before we got shut down from audio technical difficulties, we were talking about Final Fantasy 14 and some of the stuff there. Again, as usual, this is something we put on all platforms and streaming services for podcasts, and this is the first time ever us going live. And you saw it here first. We had some issues, we had some crashes, we had some. Well, we really just had an issue, but that's neither here nor there. We're gonna start again, and we gonna bounce back like 2-3 did with 4-5.
Man, we coming back like we never left.
Coming back like we never left. Look at God. But before we start off again, let give the people that round two update. Let's put a little more oomph in it. Let's see if
Yeah,
the second round of updates from Jalen and Josh. What y'all been up to lately?
well, I've
You sound
been
crazy, man.
I've been snowed in, playing Red
Mm-hmm.
Dead and Final Fantasy 14, and enjoying my time. And Jalen, he's free.
Yeah,
So go
man.
ahead, Jalen.
Give him some new tidbits. Some of you ain't gave him last time.
Man, y'all make it sound like I'm free, man. I'm still in the trenches, but I ain't as deep in the trenches because I have to finish my exam and everything. So, but other than that, man, I'm just trying to make it out of here alive. Finish up my first year of PA school. Maybe play some games with my boys since I'll be abandoning them, I guess. So, other than that,
Yeah.
man, life is good.
If y'all ain't been listening to the podcast lately, basically, Jalen been hemmed up for the last 6-7 months, so he been hemmed up pretty bad. But he took some W's lately. He ain't out he ain't out like he said, but basically he feeling good where he at, so he can pull out a little bit, pull the shackles off just a tad bit, not too much. He don't want to go crazy, but he can pull them off a little bit.
I'm finna break off them hooves.
But we were talking about Final Fantasy 14. I thought we were having a good conversation, but basically y'all was just listening to me talk to myself. Y'all probably thought I was crazy. Um, but what we were talking about first, Josh, again, if you could give.
Do you? I was gonna say, did you get that audio that you said? Because I don't know if you want to like
Splice
stitch
and
them
dice it
together.
like that, man. I guess I could. I could try to splice and dice it. Let's just talk about give another recap of the Final Fantasy 14 new the uptick, basically the new stuff that they're coming with, the new
Yeah.
expansion. What's it
Um,
called again?
I think it's no, End Walker, something like that. It's
Endwalker.
it's supposed to be I guess closing the like big overall arc and story that's been going on for a couple expansions. It's supposed to be the end of it, and then after that it's gonna be something completely brand new. So we'll see what that does. Y'all can check out the trailer. It came out on Friday when they had their little event, and they showed off a little bit of like the new class. It's a healer that has like floating lasers that they shoot out, and then they're gonna have more raid content featuring like Final Fantasy X. So you'll see some Final Fantasy X summons or maybe some Final Fantasy X characters in 14, and they'll probably write a decent story that's related to Final Fantasy X somehow. That comes out later this year, sometime in fall, and then they got a couple patches that are gonna like lead up to it. They'll add more content, like the PS5 update, where they're gonna boost up the graphics and the resolution so it looks closer to like what you can get on the PC instead of being like the old PS4 version that's been around for a while. But yeah, that's basically it. A lot of new stuff. I've been going through it, trying to catch up, and we'll see. If you guys care enough to actually, I'm not. We're not gonna keep playing all the way until fall. But if it's something interesting, then we might check it out in the future. We'll see.
Yep. Okay. Well, that's where this is where I kind of went into my spiel about Final Fantasy 14. So this is where I insert it for all you people that's gonna be listening at the podcast. You'll probably be able to hear that, but for the rest of you, we gonna move on to the next topic for the sake of time here. Um, but yeah, a quick synopsis of it, just so you guys can know where I was at with it. Too early to tell. Seems pretty good though. Got a lot of stuff to
Yeah.
do.
I was gonna ask you though,
Mhm.
since the like let's say RPG or the combat mechanics are not like as customizable as like Diablo or something like that, what do
Right.
you think of the actual like mechanics? Because that I feel like it's it's simple, but it's something that I feel like I'm always engaged in. So when I go into like a battle or raid, like just trying to like keep up with the mechanics and learn them. How do you feel like that stuff has been, especially since like you've played Destiny raid, so you've seen stuff like this, like um, bosses getting enraged and wiping because of certain mechanics and stuff like that.
Um. Well, I guess. I guess it's. I'm sorry. I guess it's like I feel like it's kind of Mm, I mean, seems. I don't know. I I, I wouldn't say I don't know because it's not like it's. I think it's those raid mechanics. They were interesting, and I feel like they have more depth to them, I guess, than and they can probably do more than what I was thinking of a normal raid. But I think the way that Destiny kind of does it, it seems more um impactful and like you're messing up or something, Like
Yeah,
it
it
seems
does, but I well, sorry to cut you off. I would say it does, because like we can play hard content in 14 and like get punished for it.
right.
But like the thing that I don't like in Destiny is one, the light level BS where you got to go into the raid usually the first time, and
Mhm.
you're under leveled, so that's like it creates an artificial difficulty to me. But I
Mhm.
also feel like Destiny, it's not that there might be like 3 or 4 mechanics in the fight, and
Right.
like they want you to do it correctly or else you'll wipe. And I feel like Destiny gives you a lot of situations where um you do it right or it's a wipe and there's no in between. And I feel
Mhm.
like that's okay in some situations, but in a lot of raids that takes away the fun because one, it's punishing you too much for trying to learn it because of course you're going to go in blind and you're trying to learn it, and that's part of the fun. Whereas 14, there are situations where you do get wiped, but I feel like they allow you, especially in the beginning of the fight, to make some mistakes, and then the fight usually progresses to a point where now you should have it down and stop making mistakes. So
Right.
I don't know. I understand Destiny. It is more impactful because like if one person, IDO 6 dies, that's
Mhm.
usually like a wipe, and some people like that. I feel like that's too artificial sometimes. That's why
Yeah,
I stopped wanting to play the Destiny raids.
yeah. I think there are pros and cons to that situation. It makes you a little bit more on edge than it would be in that game. I feel like, yeah, we'll lose a few times, but at some point we'll get it and we'll be able to get those mechanics down, and it's not a problem. And I think I haven't seen all of the hard difficulty stuff Final Fantasy has to throw at you yet. So the raids are really the top tier thing for Destiny to focus on versus raids in Final Fantasy right now seems more just trying to get a better understanding of like their mechanics don't really. I don't know. It just don't. They don't really mean anything to me unless I don't know the lore. I don't know all the stuff about the monsters, so I don't know what all that stuff means when it comes to that stuff. So it doesn't mean anything. Raids and Destiny stuff, they don't mean anything, but at least I know they kind of they have some weight to them. So it's gonna be hard for me not to pay attention to the mechanics and understand the mechanics super well because if I get punished, I'm getting punished bad. Versus in that, yeah, I didn't look away at that time, but it's okay. It'll wear off in a few seconds. Um,
Hmm.
the only thing that I seen that was really like bad was the growth thing in that one raid where we was playing recently, or that one. It wasn't even raid; it was a dungeon where we were kind of going through that, and if we didn't stop him from getting bigger, he was gonna instant wipe us. So those mechanics like that seem pretty interesting. I think they have more variety in their camp than what Destiny could possibly do. So we'll see. I think as I play it and continue to play on through it, I think the similarities and the interest things that I like about Destiny are going to be intertwined with the things I like about Final Fantasy. Things I like about Final Fantasy is going to be intertwined with the things I like about Destiny. So it's going to be like I'm going to be looking for stuff that I see that's cool here and then I don't see here, and then I'm going to be doing the same thing that I see that's cool there that I don't see here. So I continue to put some thought into it, but really what keeps me playing Destiny is the gameplay. What's keeping me playing Final Fantasy is the story. So it's already I'm already approaching them totally differently. I don't
Yeah.
I don't find the gameplay to be that thrilling. Destiny gameplay is far more thrilling to me because of all of the stuff you can do inside of it and stuff you can kind of finesse characters and do stuff like that versus you can't really finesse much in there. It's just really just becoming stronger to, or at least better to be able to take on like NPCs and stuff like that. So the finesse game is a little bit different. So I'm already approaching it differently. So I have some more stuff to say once I really put some more time in. I only put in 20 hours. Again, we're talking about Final Fantasy 14 if you guys are watching live. So really I'm just giving my kind of first impressions, but I give you a little bit more on that on the podcast because we had a breakdown in communication earlier here on the stream. Uh, but the next thing was that anything else you wanted to say, Josh, before we move forward?
About that, no. We waiting on Jalen to get unbanned, so we'll see if he
Yeah, they
get
didn't
on there
even
at
hear
some
his
point.
story. They didn't even hear none of that at all.
Nah.
Basically, I tell it since Jalen seems like he don't want to tell it again. The story.
Nah, I tell him, but no, it don't matter to me. You can tell him if you want to.
Look, he already sound defeated. Square Enix been spanking him. But listen, this is what happened.
They've been spanking everybody. That's all they do is spank people.
That's
Like,
that
get
pretty
money off
much.
people. They make Final Fantasy 10 30 times, make Final Fantasy 2 40 times. I mean, buy it again, full price.
Yeah, that's
So,
very much so the truth. But yeah. So basically, Jalen was trying to finesse the finessers back in 20 what is that 16 2015. I think
and it's
2016.
January, because it's around Christmas time. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's January. Because we had hopped on for a 30-day trial.
Yep.
And then we had one. I think they say you can pay $15 for like have your characters on different server thingies or whatever it is talking about, or you can pay $12.99 for one server. And I'm like, shoot, I'm finna pay $12.99 or whatever. So I played, and then after that they like charged my card early. I was like, hey, y'all need to run me my money back. Like, I ain't got $13 like that. I'm at school. I'm broke. I ain't got a job. Quit playing with me. And they basically said no. So I was like, all right, bet. So I called my bank, gave my money back. Mind you, I was playing for, man. I think I actually contacted my bank a couple of days after the thing like actually started or whatever, even though they charged me prior. And then yeah, so my bank got me my money back. My thing banned, I just had to go check just to make sure. I'm like, all right, some. Can I log in? No, you can't log in. You banned, buddy. So I was just like, all right, bet. I ain't care about that game anyway. I ain't had nothing that mug but some Ugg boots. So, and I was shooting an arrow. So I ain't tripping. You know what I'm saying? I ain't look back. This man, Josh, over 5 years, been trying to keep us to, hey, come back and play. Nah, bro, I'm banned. I'm good. I ain't got no reason to play that game. I ain't missing no archer arrow and some Ugg boots. I can go cop some Uggs if I really want to. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, bump it. Then now here we is, fast forward 5 years later, hey, come play 14. And I'm like, all right, bet. Hit up Square Enix. Hey, look, man, I'm sorry for what I did in the past. Can I get my account back? Or can you at least unlink it so I can make another one? Nah, boy. Pay us that 13 and we'll let you go. I'm like, 5 years later, y'all want $13? I'm like, man, do the math. That's like $3 a year, bro. Y'all still want that from me? Like, quit playing. So I asked them. It's like, hey, yeah, we can get your account back. Just give us that 13. So I'm like, all right, for sure. I ain't used that full 30 days or whatever. Can y'all, like, mind you, I'm in grad school right now, so I really ain't got time, more money still. I'm in the same predicament as I was 5 years ago.
Right.
Except more in the trenches. But anywho, that's neither here or there. They like, hey, we can't pause time. We can't delay it. We can't such. So basically, they like, hey, pay us $13 to get your account back, and they go to a currency called Christie or something. They didn't elevate it, I guess. They don't just take regular money. They want their Christie or Crusty money, whatever you want to call it.
They want that gift card money, man. That's that stuff that can't be retreated. You can't retreat that. Nah.
Yeah, you bank specialist, so you know how that stuff work. I still try to finesse, but anywho, they saying, yeah, bro, hey, just pay us that 13. We'll fix your account. You can't get that time back, but 13 gonna fix your account. You pay another 13, and then you can play for 30 days. So I'm just in that mode, like, shit. I don't know what I'm finna do because I ain't got 13 again. Like, I'm not finna pay y'all 26 just to hop on the game for 30 days, and then I still gotta buy the expansions. Come on, y'all, work with me. Like,
nah, G, you still got to, man. You can't be leaving us hanging, G.
Man,
I already put in 20 hours. I'm trying to
see y'all left me behind.
Doing.
I might as well go back to Overwatch, and they got a new skin for Ash, boy. She got the tiger, Eye of the Tiger. Man,
hear this, man, Josh? He already giving up, man. He ain't even
started
yet.
That mark, man. I just need to see if they gonna give me back my account, if they gonna work with me, because these are minimum wage, COVID-19, $15, $20 an hour jokers over here trying to say, hey, man, give us that 13 and then we can get you going, boy. We can get you going. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it. That's a little stuff.
But yeah, so Jalen's still working on getting that back together and getting all that taken care of. So once he done with that, we'll be able to, all play on that. But yeah, moving forward, I wanted to also talk about, something that's been in the news heavy, something that's crazy. That GameStop won't stop. Can't stop, won't stop, GameStop. Man, they was spamming that in the chat the whole entire time. Can't stop, won't stop, GameStop.
Run it up.
Man, that mug started sinking. Them bears came out. Man, stock twits is the funniest thing I ever discovered. I think you told me about that. That's the funniest thing. It be fake bears in there, fake bulls, and it just be crazy. They just talking mad stuff to one another, right? and it's
Yeah.
always just entertaining. I never take nobody in there serious, like ever, bro. I'm never gonna take any of
Power
them people
hour,
serious. Power hour, we going diving heads, all that
he-
bullshit,
healthy
right?
consolidation.
Yeah, we got a nice pullback, nice pullback. This now we finna go on a crazy run. Rockets, bro. Do not take
$10
any of them
by
people
the end of the
serious.
day.
They all crazy and they trying to get you to waste your money. So what you want to
EOD.
do? Make a conscious decision that you either go take this L to the end, or you go get weekends and sell. Unfortunately for me, I mean I'm up, but I had weekends, so I'm not as up as much as I should be. Uh, but yeah, I'm up still.
Oh yeah, you
Game,
was hating on them. You was like, I hope Gamestop plummet
yeah,
because you took out. They
cause I
shut on
cause I
weekends.
left. Shake the weekends.
On
Uh,
weekend.
shake the weekends. Yeah. So they plummeted pretty bad. Really left a lot of people out. Left a lot of bag holders out there. Hopefully, people was able to get some type of profit. I'm still holding some stock in both AMC and GameStop, but GameStop was really the story here. And there was a lot going on between all of that. I mean, I'm telling you, if you followed any of the financial people on YouTube, you probably heard all about it. It was a crazy situation. Only reason I'm talking about it again on here is because it's GameStop, and GameStop is associated with gaming. And literally, nobody was buying that for the games. We like, and then everybody kept saying we like the stock, we like the stock, and it wasn't talking about that. They were just talking about how they was getting shorted. And yeah, man, I think that's gonna be something for the history books. I'm pretty sure we're gonna see some movies about that. I don't think it's over yet, but I think it's definitely never going to get to the point where it was previously. I think it's going to definitely be a quick run or two in the next two weeks. But once that's over with, it's over with. And we're going to see some regulations come from this. Hopefully, not too many crazy ones. But as you can see, Robinhood, for all of the explaining they have done, it really hasn't showed me much difference. And I had most of my stake in Robinhood because I thought they were, for the people, by the people, for the people. They thought they was it's a FUBU out here, but really, I don't know, man. They some snakes. They some sharks, man, pretending to
Man,
be loyals. They was
you thought that was you thought that's gonna hit you with that line. What's that game on Whitescape or whatever you call it? Power to the
power,
people.
hyperscape, power to the people. Let's have some fun. Uh, but yeah, no, they weren't like that, bro. They were really dirty. So it's okay though. We everybody understand now. People are making decisions. People are making smarter decisions. People are interested in the financial world in general now. People are interested in investing. Just be smart about it. Don't be just following these trends. Yes, you could have made a lot of money if you would have bought GameStop early on, but that's the point. If you didn't get in early on, you shouldn't have been chasing the bag. If you're chasing the bag, that's pretty much how you lose all the time. So, um, I took my own advice a little bit, and then I didn't at the end, which is probably the reason why I lost a little bit of my gains that I had got. So you want to just take that advice, stick to it, make sure you're buying in super cheap at places that you can do. Don't ever use margin. I don't care what people tell you; it's a bad idea. Um, and just be understanding, thoughtful about your purchases. Believe in stocks that you want to believe in. Like again, the reason why I made so much on GameStop is literally because I was buying that stock back in September of 2019, and I just thought it was gonna go up. I was like, oh, it's gonna get to at least 30, and I bought it in at $6. But because I bought in so early, this run happened, and then I was able to kind of capitalize on that. And then I bought in more chasing the bag. Bad idea. So you don't want to do that. So again, you just want to, if you're in the stock, you're getting good, you're getting lucky, but that type of stuff don't last long. It was fun while it lasted. People were having a great time. People were making a lot of money. I just don't want you to be a bag holder out there, really, because And I'm not trying to fear mongo anybody or whatever. I think it's just making smart decisions, being educated with your purchases, and really actually thinking about the stock and not just going off what people saying. Because there's a lot of misinformation out there, a lot of bulls playing to be bears, a lot of bears playing to be bulls, and it's just not really good to be trying to take people on the internet serious. You want to always do your own research. And that's what I did. I did my research on GameStop. I thought it was going to be a good company to still invest in. I thought they were going to make a comeback, and that's why I bought it. And because of that, I was able to get a good position early on. But yeah. So, what are y'all thoughts about GameStop? Were you guys? Obviously we talked about it a little bit, but is this was this like the first time? Well, explain to the people because I kind of know the answer. Was the first time y'all ever looking into investing or stocks or whatever, or what was the situation there when GameStop started going crazy?
Um,
Shoot.
why I know that me and you had talked about GameStop before because like they haven't been doing good, and I think probably about a year ago they were like $4 a share, and so it,
Yeah.
it seemed like they were gonna close pretty soon. They was gonna have one big push after the consoles came out, and then that was gonna be
Yeah.
it. So I've been keeping an eye on GameStop, but I didn't think there would be any sort of attention where the shares would actually jump a lot. I thought it might jump up to like $20 or something.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I've been mainly just looking every now and then, not really investing. Put a couple extra dollars here or there into
Hmm.
somewhere, see what happens with it. This was the first time where I was like actually watching stocks like every day or like all day throughout work.
Hmm.
Um, so I feel like it's a good whether you made money or not, it's a good experience if you got into like this GameStop situation because you can learn a lot about stocks, like how media portrays it, how people online portray it.
How it can
Um,
influence it too. So that's a
yeah,
big thing. How
and
how we people influence stuff. Like
so it's
like.
going to make you a better investor or better with your money.
Hmm.
Like you said, main thing is like always think about your bottom line. You can follow some trends, you can take some advice, maybe it might help you out, but at the end of the day, it's best for you to like get out when you can, I
Yeah.
guess. Eh, I mean, it's good to hold sometimes because like there are some dips that go up a lot higher, but at the same time, you don't want to be holding on the stock because somebody else told you to.
And the volatility and stuff like that. So, like, people were buying again. I bought in at a crazy high number that I never should have bought in some GameStop stock. So, and that's the problem. So, where people
Yeah,
started seeing the volatility, started people seeing it skyrocketed, and they started buying it at a much higher price. And yes, I didn't follow my own advice of never buy in when it's going crazy like that because I've seen the back end of that. Me and Jalen seen the back end of that a bunch of different times when it comes to pump and dumps. And I don't think this was considered a pump and dump at the point. It was more so considered and I still don't think it's considered a pump and dump. I think it's just the type of hype that could consume a stock is what caused this to kind of explode in the way it did early, where it should have been trending at 90, 100, $120 right now, and then hit a boom later on, but it kind of peaked, and then everybody got scared, and it just dropped significantly. And it's now been on a downward trend. I think it's still got momentum behind it. People are still invested in it. A lot of bag holders out there, so it's still people holding that stock. We just have to see what the actual suits do because really, it's a lot of manipulation going on. At least in my opinion. Like, I'm not a financial advisor, so I can't give
well,
out official
we can all
finance.
agree that Robinhood is fishy, and you should close
Yeah.
your Robinhood account.
So yes, it's really really interesting to see what they were doing. Regardless of everything else, it's still interesting to see. So, uh, but that was an entertaining week. I'm not gonna lie to you. Uh,
Yeah,
and
there's definitely a lot going on with that.
a lot going on with that, and it's gonna be some movies. It's gonna be some scripts made. Um, deep
The
effing value. He probably gonna be a star somewhere. He was going crazy on Reddit. He's still holding. I think I don't know if he left yet, but he made stupid money and then let it watch it all go down. He's still holding. So that's a
Yeah, they said he
true
gonna have
diamond hands.
a meeting with Congress though, so he got different
Yeah,
issues. He got
which is
different
crazy.
problems.
I'm thinking like, why would y'all even want to talk to him? He literally, you can watch his YouTube videos and you can see that he was like actually put time in. He liked the stock for real, like for real. There was nothing that was fishy about what he did. He posted about it multiple times, and it's not like you can fault somebody for talking about a stock, especially if you were talking about it back a year and a half ago. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not sure what they're gonna do with that, but what they can obviously see is it's like true manipulation from these companies saying that you have to, because the volatility of the stock is so crazy, we can't accept it, when we literally watched Tesla go from a $300 stock to an almost $3,000 stock in a matter of a year. Yeah, it was like it went from crazy to crazier. So I don't know. I just think it was weird. I mean, yes, it took a little bit more time than going from the month or the beginning of the month to the end of the month. But to be saying that it's like that he has to come in is kind of nuts to me. But
wait, why he got to see Congress for?
they want to talk to him about the like manipulation or like pretend causing the pump or causing manipulating the stock market.
Yeah,
They
saying
people do
he
that all the
got more
time.
influence
But
than
it's illegal. But they can't prove. It's hard to prove sometimes. But we know the suits do it all the time. We know this.
So
We
who
can
is this
see
dude?
it.
Is he like a regular dude
Yeah, he's
versus
just a
everybody
regular
else now?
financial. He a regular
Okay.
financial guy, on the internet talking about his. He's like 30, 20
That's
something.
probably why, because he ain't a big wig. He
Man,
messing with their money.
all I know is stuff getting crazy out here, Gene, and I think that's wrong, but hey, I think we'll see what happens. I think I hope that they really prosecute some of these people, because right now, at least that's what they're stating. At least that's what the research is showing, is basically that they're not being covered. These stocks or these short bets aren't being covered right now. They're just kind of pulling out new shorts on stock that's not even there. So it just seems a lot of fishy stuff going on. Hopefully they clear it all up and they kind of explain it to the people so people can understand it better. But right now I'm pretty confused on that stock as well, in the market. So
My thing is, I feel like the so I don't do stocks heavy, but like I feel like the stock market is it's like a casino. The casino never gonna lose. You can make some money off the casino, but they never gonna lose. And then the people that's running Wall Street and all that type of stuff, they never gonna lose. You can make some money and stuff in the stock market, but you never gonna like, you know what I'm saying? You never gonna
take
like
them
beat them,
down.
like get
Yeah.
rich, like that type of stuff. So with that being said, every time I go into the stock market or even a casino or whatever, you basically set your boundaries.
Yeah.
This is what I'm willing to lose. This is what I'm willing to gamble. If I make this much money, then I'm gonna pull this out. Like you go in there with a game plan and you don't abandon your plan, regardless of anything. I mean, maybe with the GameStop thing, you be like, well, this is a good opportunity. I am up a stupid amount of money. I am willing to bet more money because I've, made X amount.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like you're not gonna get rich off this stuff, so don't try it.
Yeah.
You're not going because the money is only secure once you actually take it out of there. But the thing is, once you take it out of there, you're not making any more money. It becomes stagnant, similar to your situation when you say you got weak hands and took your money out of GameStop. Then you
Mm-hmm.
start seeing like, dang, I could have made this much money, man. I need to get back in here, and then it just
Mm-hmm.
turned into this bad pattern, and it's real easy to happen. Like you'd make one buy, and you be like, dang, I shouldn't have bought it. I mean, heck, I done lost like $700 in the span of 2 minutes on that mug. Sick, like. because I'm doing stuff I shouldn't have been doing. I knew I shouldn't have did it, but I did it anyway because I was hopeful. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's just
That's why
that
you
stock
don't.
market.
That's why I want to build on the philosophy of just holding, because when you trust the company and you feel like the company, you value the company for what it's worth. It's easier to hold than trying to chase like the volatility, the volatile stocks, because it's just not a good idea. It's not a good idea at all.
Terrible idea.
So but GameStop is an amazing story. I think a lot of people are gonna talk about this for a long time, and I think there'll be a lot of movies come out of this. And I just hope that this isn't the end for us, or people taking on the Wall Street kind of deal. Obviously, we're still never going to win. We're still a little guy, but these moves that we're making, as in like we can see the power of what we can do when we kind of work together. It's interesting. It's still manipulation. It is our manipulation at that point. They manipulate all the time too, so it's just an interesting way to look at it. But yeah, nonetheless, pretty good. But the next thing, or did y'all have anything before we moved on to the next thing up there?
Nah.
Not specifically, not in regards to that. I'm gonna get back in there. I just gotta make sure I got some money to play with and got time to actually look at the stock market. Because my grades were slipping because I was looking at the stock market too much when I first started school.
Gotcha.
I was in class looking at the stock market like, I need to make this move, man. We supposed to be in class doing an interactive session. I'm like, man, this mug going up, bro. We going up today. Like 500 in my pocket today.
Pay attention so you can buy the dip.
Man, I'm telling you, lunchtime dip. Healthy consolidation.
Lunchtime dips.
Get on right now before it's too late. $10 EOD.
And the day we go a skyrocket, after hours gonna be sick. After hours going crazy. The bears are crying right now. All that type of stuff.
Then you sick when you take your eyes off of it. Any bag holders out there? I buy y'all shares. They're talking crazy.
Dude, that is like the most entertaining thing I be watching. I be like, bro, I cannot stop laughing at these people.
Man.
Oh yeah, the memes were killing me. That was the best part.
Man, them memes are hilarious, dude. I seen this truck crash one time, bro. That junk was funny. I'm like, man, they're like bears right now.
Bro, they
like the bears real quiet.
Suicide watch. Watch out for the bears. Hey, somebody call here. Dude, they be pulling up old tweets. They be pulling up old little comments. They be like, somebody check on this man. And they be like,
this man been on the board for 2 days. He disappeared now. Where he at?
Right. Where y'all bears at now? Where you bulls at now, bro? It's like, it's so annoying, but it's hilarious.
It is funny, man.
Yeah, if you don't have stock twits, if you want to laugh, like again, don't take nobody advice on there. They all out for themselves. But if you want to laugh, definitely check out stock twits and go look at some stocks that you follow. It's the most hilarious thing. But next thing I kind of want to talk about, going back to, well, it's kind of, I guess it's not really gaming related, but it's something about gaming. I guess it's like in the realm. It's WandaVision. WandaVision is actually really good. I was expecting it to be good. I'm like, they probably gonna throw the budget at this thing, which they did. Seemed like they threw the budget at it. There's some moments where I feel like they could have went a little farther, but they ain't want to maybe spend that much on the budget. When they was finna fight, I was like, if they gonna really fight, I was like, nah, the budget ain't good enough. I was like, that would make sense though. But when they did their little standoff, Wanda and Vision did their little standoff, I was like, they finna scrap up here, like domestic violence much. But nah, I was like, Disney ain't gonna go for that. So they just didn't. They just calmed down. But yeah, I've really been enjoying WandaVision. It's like a mystery every time. and it's like something new, and it feel like you're watching the show, but you're watching a show of a show, and then you kind of also trying to piece together what's really happening. So I've been looking at the theories and who's really controlling what. Is it Wanda? If it's somebody else? So yeah, I've been infatuated with it really, and yeah, I went off the deep end a little bit on the conspiracy theories, but I think the internet knows what's going on. I think it's some guy from the comic books, and then the lady, the neighbor that's always around. They in cahoots. Uh, I mean right now we're probably gonna go into some spoiler stuff. So if you haven't seen WandaVision, yeah. If you haven't seen WandaVision, you can click off now. But if you have, you'll have a little discussion about it. So what's your I guess take on it,
Well,
Josh?
was you gonna watch it, Jalen, or
Nah, he ain't gonna watch it.
Uh, I might, but what is the show about? Is it like my impression of the show was it's a
So,
bunch of it's just adventures of Wanda and Vision, and
No.
they not like
no,
connected.
let's put it. It's the first part of the next Marvel phase.
Yeah.
So whatever
Okay.
happens, pretty much in this TV show, is gonna set up what happens in the next movies. What it is like at the in Infinity War, Vision died, and we never really see anything about Vision after that. And Wanda, she fights Thanos, and they win. This, I mean, it's not really this word to say. It takes place after Endgame, so it's just picking up what happens to Wanda, what happens to Vision after that, and it's set up weird because it's like when you watch the show, it's black and white, and they're like pretending, or it seems like they're like in a like TV show, like they're talking, and then there's a laugh track, and they're doing stuff that doesn't seem um, like a normal Marvel movie or TV show. But there's also a mystery behind it about like why stuff is weird, like why people are acting weird, why is the world black and white. And then it keeps unraveling more and more to actually get to like the actual mystery of what's going on,
Mhm.
and explain like why is Vision alive, because like he shouldn't be alive if his skull got crushed or whatever. So that, I mean, that's the basic. Just I would say it's more mystery than anything. It's still more like does start to get like traditional Marvel TV show, like it's in color and they got superpowers and stuff. But
Right. So it's basically it's a it's a mystery. I think it's a mystery. I still think it's like this weird fantasy mystery where but like if you're not looking at it from the universe point of view and you're just looking at it as a show, the mystery is that simply what's going on and why is this world, like why does this even exist, this little play on the world, why is it in this time frame, why is it like this, what is happening, what's the cause of it, and is Wanda truly the one that's doing everything. So it's the mystery is the overarching idea of the town and why the town exists and what's happening there. But one of the bigger things that really recently happened was her brother came back, Quicksilver, but it was those Quicksilver from Fox movies and not the Quicksilver from the Marvel movies. Obviously, we all know Disney recently purchased Fox, not recently, but they purchased Fox and a lot of the rights to the to the X-Men stuff. So, um, interesting to see. I was wondering whether or not that was still something being controlled, where they calm her down by sending in this Quicksilver, even though he's from a different universe, and they were talking about how he might be from Doctor Strange multiverse movie coming out real soon. So there's a lot of stuff going down. Like I said, I was going down the rabbit hole. But uh, I think it's just really not put knocking it out the park, the commercials and then those innuendos and what how it ties together with the stuff. It's like a bunch of lore and like stuff to kind of unpack in these show episodes weekly. So um yeah, I'm really happy with it. So I'm waiting for the next one. Uh yeah, we've been watching it. I just hate the way Disney do things. I just don't like the whole week to week thing. It's just so old at this point to me. To the point where I just don't want to watch it until the end. Cause it's just like it's a barbaric, old, stupid way of doing things that I hate. And Netflix have spoiled me, so I'm just ready to watch it all and get it over with. But we have to keep going back and back to this barbaric time of 2017 before we can start to get to the new again. But yeah, I really enjoy it. I think it's really cool. I think you will like it, Jalen. If you would, I don't know if you was into like the movies and stuff, but I think it's still a good watch to know what the mystery is behind Wanda and what's going on there. But if you're not really into those characters, maybe the attachment won't be that much. You might be like, it's just a show at this point. So,
Check it out. I didn't really care about Scarlet or Wanda or whatever that much. I didn't really care about Vision. He came in Age of Ultron. I thought he was cold and stuff like that, but then he was just getting scraped and stuff. I'm like, man, this dude, sorry. Then he was getting worked in Infinity War. I was
yeah,
watching that the other day. I'm like, man, you getting scraped, bro. You garbage. And then I didn't know if he came back. I forgot what happened in Endgame at this point now.
mm-hmm.
But yeah, it wasn't. I remember liking Infinity War more than Endgame. But they was just getting scraped in that movie though, especially Vision. I was just like, man, you might as well just move around, bro. Go back and fight Ultron because you can't do nothing.
Move around. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's. I think.
Um.
I think it's still. Yeah, I think it's gonna be. I think it's worth watching though.
Yeah. It's a interesting mystery so far. And we'll see where it goes. But like Deontay said, the biggest thing so far has been the Fox or like X-Men crossover
Mm-hmm.
because I think it's still like movie rumors, and you know how movie rumors be, like it could be like a bunch of crap, but like the next Spider-Man movie is supposedly supposed to have the other Spider-Man actors in the movie as Spider-Man. So if Marvel is going to start crossing universes and things like that, this seems like this could be like the start of it, and they're going to start bringing pretty much whoever they need to over when they need to. Instead of putting everything in it at the same time, they can bring in one or two characters, um,
Mm-hmm.
and slowly start to build to the universe where the X-Men and Spider-Man and everybody is all in the same movie or whatever.
Right. So yeah, I think it's the right first step, and to revamping that those those superhero movies and getting it all started again. So then we got I think recently with the Super Bowl we got the Falcon and Captain America little trailer for that. So another thing that's coming out here that's going to be tying into the next stuff. So everything's working out. Everything is everything. So that's the good thing. Uh, but lastly, what I want to talk about is that Destruction All Stars.
Mm-hmm.
This is Sony's new arena, whatever thing. It's an arena where you kind of go through and you fight with cars and you can run around, and unfortunately it's bland. It's not like it's boring, it's just not interesting enough. I thought it was going to have a little bit more, customization to it. I thought it was going to have a little bit more um, control with my move, like the style, and I didn't feel like the pacing was going to be coming to a halt as much as it is. But really, the pacing of that game really solely depends on your ability to stay within your vehicle. If you're getting killed a lot and people are, taking over your car um and like actually just knocking you out your car multiple times, it's gonna feel like a slug, like the sluggish game ever because it's just so slow. Um, and I wasn't expecting that. I thought it was gonna be fast paced all around, and you can make it faster. I think the movement stuff about how your movement can go from being great to okay, kind of also knocks the winds out of sail. So it's just a lot of things that happen in the game that makes it slower than what you're expecting, and it slows down the pacing, and that's not fun. So I think they have a pacing issue at this point. I don't think it's a bad game though. Don't get me wrong. It's not something you're gonna play all the time. It's probably no. It's not as good as Rocket League or anything like that. But I just think it's something to play at this point, and I'm glad they made it free because I wouldn't have ever, ever pay $70 for that game. And I think it would have really hurt it, to be honest, because I think a lot of people are trying it right now, and it gives them the opportunity to up their ante or up their their game and kind of make it better, and then come out with something better, more more appealing, more fun, more interesting. Um, Characters on there, they seem pretty genuinely unique. A lot of the mechanic wise, where they kind of give you different things that they can do, but there's clearly a balancing issue where some characters are significantly better than others, and play testing seemed like they really just was like, yeah, well, we okay with them being sorry and them being good, 'cause that's what it felt like. So it's not as if everything's balanced, nothing's copacetic. No, some characters are clearly better than others at this point. The story mode, it seems as if it's locked behind a paywall. You can't really play it, which is weird because they're going to charge $70 for this game. So I'm assuming they kind of switched it up, and maybe this was supposed to be a free to play game because when you have that type of stuff already built into the game, um, makes you wonder. Makes you wonder if it was always supposed to be free to play, and they kind of pushed them to kind of push the envelope to make it a full fledged game. Or maybe I'm reading into it wrong, but that's my thoughts. That's my opinion there. So take it or leave it. But um, I can say the few matches I played, I enjoyed. I liked it. Um, but it's just not something you're gonna go back to play again. And I'm just glad it was free. Um, because I don't think they would have had legs to stand on, to be honest, to make people want to come back or even try to play that game in the future. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Um,
that's my take
but
on it.
yeah, it sounds like it was a good decision to make it free because like it's a little multiplayer arena game and it's $70, so they got to make a big, strong impression to make people happy, especially like keep playing it long term. But
Mm-hmm.
it seems like it has, like you said, core balancing issues, and they got to rethink a couple things before it's like at that point where people would actually like to play it. I'm looking at it right now, and it seemed like these maps are really big, like for what you're
Mm-hmm.
doing. Um, so I don't know, because I mean, this type of game, there's like the Mario battle mode, in like
Mm-hmm.
Mario Kart, where it's just a little map. You pick up some power ups and throw it at people. That's what I thought it's gonna be, but it seems like they're trying to do a lot. Like you can get out the car and parkour and stuff like that, but I don't know if all these ideas fit well together. It seemed like it would be more fun if it was more simple, fast cars just crashing each other or whatever. Um, but yeah,
Yeah, I think like I said, when the game becomes a little bit more interesting, or at least they get the kinks out of it, I think it'll be fun. Honestly, to just pick up and play. I think it has a decent foundation of like a loop, but the loop is significantly being delayed by all of the slowdown of getting out the on the ground play, the trying to get your power ups back so that you can start getting your mobility to be better. It seems as if the mobility is stifled because they want to be able to have the car still mobile enough to attack or tackle down a human if a misstep is to occur, because once you get your huge mobility pumps and you're able to double jump, it's really hard to hit anybody in there at that point. So I understand why they do certain things. It's just boring, so I don't want to play it. Um, and I think if they can figure out new modes, maybe new ways of engaging. I played both modes. One is better than the other. I think the one where you're pushing your car into the vortex seems a little bit more fun because you got to run around, get hits, keep your car alive, and then dump it into the vortex to bank the points. It's a lot more punishing because you can really just get piled on, and you really don't have any way of defending yourself, and it gets harder and harder. But I definitely think that the game needs some balancing, and definitely needs to become the pacing needs to get better. And then they have a decent game on their hands, to be honest. But it's free if you have a PS5 and if you have PlayStation Plus, because it's now on the PS4. But yeah, I liked it enough to say okay, but not enough to be like, yeah, y'all need to play it. No, you don't need to play it. Uh, it's very resembling to Rocket Arena from Ubisoft, and I think they gave that game away for free, or at least it's in Game Pass. I think I played it.
Oh, you mean EA?
Oh, EA made that game. I thought it was Ubisoft. EA made some more EA trash, y'all. But Rocket Arena is very similar to Destruction All Stars, in my opinion, and that they should have been free, and they should have had a concept behind that, because those games lack the ability to stand on their own 2 feet if they don't have like a compelling story or something that kind of to sink your teeth into outside of just playing multiplayer. Like Apex is free for a reason, and they made $1 billion for a reason, because the gameplay is solid, but they also tie in cosmetics and things like that where you can still play the core game for free, but if you want to look good or you want to get the new characters, sometimes you gotta pay a little. Even if you want the new characters, sometimes you don't even have to pay because you can just play it enough. So a lot of good things come from that. So I think the free to play model would have benefited this game a lot better than what it is now. But it is what it is. But yeah, that's pretty much our time. Again, this one got cut a little bit short because again, you're gonna see another 30 to 20 minutes of content if you listen to the actual podcast, because our stream was messing up and you couldn't really hear Jalen and Josh for half of it, or for most of it. Really, you couldn't hear him at all. You only could hear me, so I sound like a crazy person talking to myself. But I'm gonna leave this up here. This will be something I try to do every again for the full schedule, because I think at some point I want to be able to interact with you guys while we're conversating, to kind of have a conversation back and forth. If you want us to talk about something, or you want us to even like I said, converse about something, or even ask a question like that, we'll want to be able to give that full, real time response in the moment, where you guys can have a little bit more interaction than just listening. So that's what we want to do with this, and that's why I kind of wanted to go live. And you had technical difficulties when you're trying to do something like that, and YouTube is a very weird place to stream. I like Twitch more, but my audience is here, so I'm gonna keep it here for now. And until next time, really, this is the House of Wolves podcast, and we come to you guys again more than likely every other Sunday at a certain period of time. I can't tell you when, but just be ready. Anything y'all want to say before we go? Or anything y'all had on the topic of last time, or the last thing we just talked about, or anything y'all want to say to the people?
No. It's late.
Yeah.
We're gonna wrap it up because we basically did 2 podcasts. So
pretty
True,
much.
true.
True. All right. Well, we'll talk to you guys next time. Thanks for listening. Peace.
Deuces.